how would you define a Rube Goldberg invention?
Well, I've been called the father of automation. It's one thing after another. I mean, that's really the thing, and it's an illogical bunch of things which are put in a logical sequence.
Rube Goldberg.
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 I made a Rube Goldberg machine.
A Rube Goldberg machine, it's an intentionally delightful waste of time and energy.
Here's a typical example of what I mean.
To 20 failures and 2 successes. That's my hypothesis.
The internet, and YouTube in particular, has given a whole new life to Rube Goldberg.
Watch close. How does this work? It's very simple.
Oh, and there it goes.
I suppose there are one or two among you who think that my inventions are a bit ahead of their time. All right, go on and say it. Downright screwy.
Rube Goldberg doing something simple in a very complicated way that is not necessary. It's a goofy, gadgety, glorious sight to behold.
This bill is a bit of a Rube Goldberg contraption. Sloppy staff work right from the beginning, especially on this bill.
And this is the world's slowest Rube Goldberg.
I build Rube Goldberg machines.
Oh, no kidding.
I love them. You actually know what it is. I'm pretty surprised.
Absolutely.
Wait, is that a Rube Goldberg machine? Who built it?
Me, I made my hand, but I'm upside down, so I can't really help.
Yes, sir. Long, long after you and I have departed from this earthly scene, this machine of mine will be working on and on and on and on and on and on.
Oh my goodness.
I think I say it every year. We watch that every time, and it never gets old. Ever.
It does not. It does
I
not.
think the first 50 times or so that I saw it, I was in tears. Like I literally couldn't speak. And that's because I don't know who else is on this call right now, but Rube was my grandfather, and that's a sculpture over there of him in the pink hat. And yeah, no, I got very choked up. But now I can actually watch it and smile.
Oh, so very sweet. Well, I guess we should all say who we are. So, Jennifer, you're halfway there. Why don't you go ahead and introduce
I'm
yourself?
Jennifer George. I run the Rube Goldberg Institute. Our focus is on STEM and art education, and I also happen to be Rube's granddaughter, so I'm sort of like the grand poobah of all things Rube. I am not the grand poobah of Minecraft or anything technical, as this lovely group will attest to. I have a hard enough time just seeing you all on here, but Eric and Claire are here to make the whole Minecraft NASEF world come to life.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the grand poobah of Minecraft, I think you might have a new title, Eric.
I like Grand Poobah. It's not bad. I need a hat though, fuzzy
Yeah,
hat,
absolutely.
horns, I need the whole thing.
Just move the clever logo over. You can wear that.
Hold on, can I?
Yeah.
Kind of,
Sort of. That's perfect.
So yeah,
you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
I can do that. So my name is Eric Lader. I am the education content producer for Clever Like Studios. We are a Minecraft marketplace partner. We partner with Minecraft Education on education-based worlds, many of which, if you've played Minecraft Education, are in the lesson library. And our job really, and we always say this is this is Brian, our fearless leaders. This is his line. I cannot take credit for it, but we take the things that the students are passionate about, the kids are passionate about, the video games they actually love, and we sneak in the vegetables. So there's a little learning in there, but really ultimately you're still having fun, you're still enjoying yourself, you're still doing what you love. And who doesn't love Minecraft? And I can say that honestly because we know how popular it is.
Exactly. And for the whole range of ages too, which is phenomenal. So it doesn't matter if you're teaching elementary, if you're teaching high school, if those are a distant memory in your past, as they are probably for all three of us, it still is a super fun platform to be in. Welcome everyone. I'm Claire LeBeau. I'm Chief Advancement Officer at NASEF, the Network of Academic and Scholastic Esports Federations. And it is always an honor to partner with these two organizations and to bring content and challenges like this to you to share with whether it's students in school or kids in an after-school program or whatever it is. We are really excited about the Rube Goldberg machine competition this year and the theme. In that reel that we just watched, a Rube Goldberg machine was described as an intentionally delightful waste of time and energy. However, I am going to say that our pets would disagree with the fact that it's a waste of time and energy because this year's theme is feed a pet, and that's very important. So yes, our pets, not on board so much with the delightful waste of time and energy, but definitely delightful is part of the idea behind a Rube Goldberg machine.
We should mention that historically speaking, for the past almost 40 years, the Rube Goldberg organization has led competitions in the real world and now in the digital world, where every year there's an annual task. So in the years past, we've had in Minecraft, we've had open and illuminate a book. We have had put toothpaste on a toothbrush, which was also the same as our live competitions. We've put sprinkles on a cake. This year it's feed a pet. So in the most overly complicated way, in the silliest way, in the stupidest way imaginable, we want you to feed a pet, and it can be an imaginary pet or it could be a real pet. And we actually took the liberty of taking pictures, and we wanted to show you our pets who theoretically we would feed if we were building Rube Goldberg machines. So I'm going to let you guys do the honors here.
Sure. Okay. Well, definitely not only theoretically feeding the pets because they're rather demanding, correct? Yes. But this one on the left is mine. This is Sadie. We rescued her. It's been almost a month that she has been bringing joy and love to our house. Believe it or not, based on her size, she's still only 6 months old. This girl is going to be massive. So there is lots of feeding of this pet happening in my house, let me tell you.
And the pussycat?
That's mine. That's, what the thing is I've been on all of these Minecraft-based streams with NASEF for years now. Many of the students who are probably tuning in to participate in this have watched some of those additional programs, whether it was, Farmcraft or Rube Goldberg or any of the other Solar Sprint. We had so many. If you've tuned into any of those, I guarantee you could find a point in a video where you watched Penny's tail go by the screen like this as she was walking back and forth across my keyboard. Because she is my shadow and she will interrupt. Who knows? It may happen on this one. If it does, I'm just going to let it happen. Yeah.
Yes. Such a great expression from her there too. I love that. That is
And
so
her paws.
cute. Yes. Aw.
So these are two dogs in our world, and I am remiss because I didn't get my pussy cat up there, but in the green puffer is Mojo. He is a very, very serious schnoodle. He belongs to me. And my son is in love with his girlfriend's dog and his girlfriend, and that is Dolly. And Dolly is a Woodle. So, and Dolly is Mojo's girlfriend. So
What's a Woodle? Wait, what's a Woodle?
Woodle is a Wheaten Terrier and Poodle mix.
Okay.
You can mix a poodle with everything, is what I've learned, and seems like a very Rube Goldberg thing to do. But you know,
So we have Poodle, and then Noodle is Schnauzer Poodle, and the two of them are in love too. So it's very, very.
This is where I give out a shout out to my mom, who has lots and lots of golden doodles, which is a golden retriever and a poodle. So you could, like I said, you can mix and match. Apparently, it's no problem.
But I fully expect that we will have some kids feeding llamas and feeding, all kinds of imaginary creatures in Minecraft. So bring it on.
Minecraft has its own imaginary creatures, and no one says those can't be your pet.
Exactly.
No one says you can't have a pet zombie or a pet creeper.
Exactly. So what we're going to do, we want to show you an example of a Rube Goldberg machine that was submitted by someone in a previous competition. So this is not this year's theme, but it is a great example of what we love to see in a video. So I'm going to share that, and we are just going to play a little bit of the sound, and then we're going to talk while you're seeing it. So here we go. Share audio.
Yeah, it's birthday time. All of Jerry's friends are here. Our birthday.
Oh, it didn't like whatever you did there.
That's top of his cake.
I think you need a Rube Goldberg machine that triggers the video for you and handles all of these settings.
Is it playing?
It's kind of a lava machine.
We hear it.
Okay, now we're good. Okay, now we're good. All right.
We have
I just can't fiddle with anything.
This one will have some music going, but we can talk over it, or maybe we could reduce the volume a little bit. But
try. That's what I didn't like was when I tried
to you've got the.
Yeah, that's better.
There you go. We'll keep it. Okay. We'll keep it kind of quiet. That's perfect. I like.
And
that.
then it'll catch up. There we go.
Zombies.
Yeah. So this one will start up in a little bit. This is one of my favorites from like 3 years ago. So this was from that very first year we ever did it. You can see the cake there in the background. This was the sprinkles on a cake one. But one of the things I love about this one, and you'll see it, right? We want to talk about like what are the elements that make a great Rube Goldberg machine. So Jen, I'll actually start with you. Like what's the idea behind a Rube Goldberg machine? And then maybe I'll take on the Minecraft part of like, how do we do that in Minecraft?
Well, a great Rube Goldberg machine, and there's plenty at rubegoldberg.org, so you can familiarize yourself or go onto YouTube and type in Rube Goldberg machine. It should be the most ridiculous way to accomplish your simple task. In this instance, for this year, it's to feed a pet. In the video you're watching, it's to put sprinkles on a cake, and you can see how many different ways we are wasting time and energy and transfers of energy to delay the final result, which is usually something extremely simple. In real life, a Rube Goldberg machine is defined by how many everyday objects you can use in your machine. So it's not just a marble run. It's not a domino run. It can include those, but often the domino run, instead of dominoes, it might be books or CDs or giant storage containers, as you will see in a video at the end of this presentation. Marbles might come in the form of bowling balls or lemons or something or other. So try to think outside the box and make it as silly as possible. The other thing that defines a Rube Goldberg machine is it should have kind of a silly story that goes along with it. And the funnier and sillier, the better. Sound effects, music, visuals that are fun to watch, all of that play into a great Rube Goldberg machine, whether you're building live or in competition. The great thing about Minecraft is you can like let your imagination run wild. It can be whatever you want as long as we see the chain reaction elements come to life in a visual way. So you can see here where we actually can see all the different steps and chain reactions that lead us from one portion of the machine to the next. And I think, and at the end, it should accomplish the task. So your task is to feed your pet.
Yep.
Right.
And we. Oh, go ahead, Claire.
I was going to say there's a little bit of overlap here because this task was to put sprinkles on a cake, but since it's a llama, it did a little bit of both.
Yeah, they're feeding the llama for his birthday. It just didn't say that Jerry was anybody's pet, So maybe you got to make a little clarity on that one.
Right.
But one of the things that makes this one truly great, if you've been watching it as we've been going along here too, is it's got so many different transfers of energy, so many different ways to kind of move things from one place to another to trigger the next event in the chain reaction that's taking place here. Very few of them repeat. We saw swinging llamas. We saw the little baby zombie running through the maze. We saw the Vindicator chasing a chicken here. So many ways we can do that. Here's a dispenser shooting a target block, which triggers a redstone reaction, which we get our sprinkles from. And there's our sprinkles, which is a particle effect. So there's so many different things happening in this one. And that's one of the ones that really when I watch it, I love it just because it's got so many examples of the things you can do. It's not the only one we've gotten. We've gotten so many incredible examples over the years, but it does a really good job of demonstrating that. So I know we've shared that one quite a few times. And I love to see that one. And it keeps on theme, right? The theme was, put sprinkles on a cake that year, which did it accomplish that? Yes, it did. But how did it do it? Well, it created this ridiculous narrative that Jerry was having a birthday bear party. Jerry is a llama. And then all his friends were going to help make his cake or put sprinkles on his cake, but they're all part of the machine. So you see them swinging through the machine or getting launched into the air and whatever else, so it's a ridiculous narrative. It makes no sense whatsoever. And yet it's still, because we lean into it as an idea, and it still ends up resulting in the same thing that you could probably just grab a sprinkles and say, yep, done, put it on a cake. It makes it that much more enjoyable to watch, to participate in, to kind of just enjoy. I mean, it's like a cartoon, right? Like part of what makes cartoons fun sometimes is that they're nonsensical. We want them to be funny. We want them to be nonsensical. We want them to be absurd. And the same is true for the machines.
And I will say that if these are the building blocks of animation, you can also, if you want reference material to get inspired by Wallace and Gromit or Sing or Family Guy, there's all kinds of amazing animated Rube Goldberg machines out there. And again, just go to YouTube or Google it, and you will have plenty of inspiration.
Right.
My brain always goes to Tom and Jerry. I'm just, it's a generational thing,
Yeah, definitely. I love those. Eric, what are you're a teacher by background, you're a developer now. What are some of the educational aspects of building this machine?
So one, it's a really great way, whether you're doing it like like building a physical machine in the classroom, which if you're doing the Minecraft one, I encourage you to build a physical one too, even if you're just trying things out. Yeah. It's a great way to learn about certain scientific and educational concepts, aside from having to kind of script everything out. So we have those ELA or language arts components of it, where you're scripting things out and you're creating a narrative, right? So what is a narrative, right? We have to understand what a narrative is. And there's a language arts component to understanding a narrative. But at the same time, we've got simple machines, because what is a Rube Goldberg machine, or just like any other machine, but a combination of simple machines, and how those transfer energy and motion from one action to another. So we're learning about those transfers of motion. So we're learning about kinetic and potential energy and how those are transferred from one step to another. And if one thing doesn't trigger the next thing, maybe it didn't have enough potential energy to transfer into kinetic energy to make that happen. So there are so many possible educational takeaways from this. It is not as simple as I'm going to build something absurd. And one of my favorite aspects of all of it, from an educational standpoint, is the true value in failure. And I mean that. There is so much educational value in failing. And building a Rube Goldberg machine, I mean, we saw like the hypothesis the student was making in the video before, where he was like, I'm going to fail 24 times and maybe there'll be 2 successes.
Yes.
is is you build this sort of ability to persevere, where you say, okay, that didn't work, what do we have to fix? That didn't work, what do we have to fix? That didn't work, what didn't, oh, and now we got it, right? That's how so many things work, right? Like that's how authors work, that's how musicians work, that's how scientists work, it's how everybody works.
If you look at the great inventions of all time, literally there's the lowest of lows right before that breakthrough moment. And it takes perseverance. And you see this in engineering, you see it with inventors, you see it in the arts, you kind of see it everywhere. So people never say, oh, it was that success. I learned so much from being so successful. It's usually, oh God, I really hit rock bottom. And then I figured it out, right?
Exactly. And a lot of these, we hope that you're working as a team to build also. So that's another aspect, is having a team and learning teamwork and who's doing what part. So let's take a look now. This is the nasef.org/Rube-Goldberg page. So this is where you will find all of the Rube Goldberg resources that you need. You can also just go to nasef.org and there's a link right on the homepage to get you here. But Eric, do you want to go ahead and walk through what is provided for people who are implementing this?
Absolutely. My pleasure. So first of all, there is the registration button here to get your team registered. You will need an adult sponsor for your team. We will not be contacting students, but however, we will be contacting the adult sponsor to share information, to share deadlines. And then that adult sponsor is kind of acting as like a team manager or a team coach to provide that information to all the students that are participating. So that can be your classroom teacher, that can be a parent at home, that can be a camp or a club counselor, but you do need an adult to sponsor your team and get you registered, and they will fill out that registration link right there. So if you're a student watching this and you want to participate, find yourself that adult sponsor either at school or at a camp or an after school program or at home, and have them come register you and whomever you're going to participate with, whether it's your classmates, your friends, your siblings, whoever, and get registered. The second thing you'll find is a team guide. The team guide will walk you through everything that you need. So all the rules that you need to know, all the ways to create and form your team, where to find informational resources, what the expectations of the competition are, what the deadlines and the timelines and the time frame, all of that are going to be. All that information is in one place. It's in that online team guide document, and you'll find all that information there, as well as some videos of and highlight reels of years past, so you can kind of take a look at what was successful in the past. This is another thing that professionals do in every field, is they look at what has worked from others and they evolve it. So don't be afraid to do that.
Right, exactly. And if you scroll down just a bit, there you see, again, this is all of those educational resources that we've talked about, the 6 simple machines that Eric was mentioning. They don't come pre-built for you in Minecraft.
They sure don't. In fact, some of them don't exist at all. And what we ask to do is, like, how would you model that in Minecraft? So much of Minecraft, and for those of you who played Minecraft a lot, there are things that don't exist in the game, but we find ways to build them. So like when I'm building a house, like there's no sink, right? There's no sink block in the game. There's no faucet in the game. So I use other things that are in the inventory, the cauldron or the tripwire hook, to represent those things. So same deal. Like, how would you represent it? If you were going to build a pulley, there's no pulley system. There's no wheels at all in Minecraft. So how are you going to represent that in the game?
That's the fun part.
That is the fun part.
Right. Exactly. All right. And then on the page also, you see our timeline there. So we are doing stream number 1, and we'll have a second stream partway through so that you can get some additional inspiration and ideas. So we're hoping, even though the big builds are not due till the end of April, boy, it would be great to get a few samples in before our next stream, which is in early April, so we can share some of your work. So if you want a chance to be featured here on our next stream, then definitely submit a little bit early. You can always iterate. You can always resubmit later with a different version if you come up with something else you want to add to your machine. But we will be seeing you again to talk about and to further inspire you as we work our way through this program. So I think we have hit the high points. The number one thing you need to know is that all of the information you need is on this single landing page. So you don't have to go off all, where do I find this? Where do I find that? You're just going to go to the nasef.org website, either from the home page or from the Minecraft menu. You'll get to this Rube Goldberg page. You'll register there. Your team guide is there, links to all the videos and all the information. You've got it all right there.
Some of you may be wondering what you win. And we are working that out with our sponsors right now. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Other than big time bragging rights and platinum trophies, we are working that out now. And we will be announcing that hopefully on the next stream.
Exactly. So just a reminder, here are our dates. You want to register, definitely register by the end of April. You will be working so fast if you put a machine together in 2 days. So hopefully you'll be starting a little bit sooner than that on your Rube Goldberg Minecraft machine to feed your pet. So here are your dates. We'll announce the awards on May 7th. And thank you both for joining. This has been a great overview of what is to come. We're going to send you off with a little bit more inspiration, this one from the physical world, and you're going to get to see some really crazy and amazing Rube Goldberg machines that have been built. And I think one of those even was for a pet, yes?
Yeah, this is actually what we call our ad sizzle. So these are big brands that use Rube Goldberg machines in their TV commercials. And I think you will recognize a few having seen them in the past.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, let's take a look.
When you